Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear, and I am the Director of Operations for all of our 86 amazing chapters that we have here in our BNI Arizona region. And every single week, I come to you with a weekly education nugget that counts as one chapter education unit for watching. So thank you so much for tuning in to this week's edition. Just got home from an amazing meeting over at BNI Power Professionals. If you haven't visited them, you definitely need to check them out and their brand new location as well. So today's topic, guys, since it is the new year, today's the last day of January. I can't believe January is now done. It's so crazy that tomorrow is the start of February and everything is gonna start fresh for a new month. For VPs, remember guys, make sure to submit all the PALMS reports by midnight tonight so that way all of the activity will count towards the Power of One report. So the Power of One will either be out tomorrow or the day after, but Jeremy Walsh pulls all of the data for the Power of One on the 1st. So we want to make sure to get all PALMS reports submitted by tonight. That way all of the activity will go into the PALMS report. Now, if a PALMS report is not submitted by the end of the month, the activity will not show up in the Power of One. We can't rerun that report, so what would happen in those situations is that activity would then just kind of shift to the next Power of One report. So it would be on the next month's report. So it's really important to make sure that all of the PALMS reports, so the vice presidents that are watching this right now, make sure your PALMS reports are submitted by tonight. So that way all the activity for all the members can get credited towards this upcoming Power of One report. So it's January. It's the new year, everyone's getting back into the swing of things after the new year, so I wanted to remind you guys some of the tips on creating the best visitor experience. There is a lot that goes into a visitor experience, and it's important to make sure that we are all doing our part to ensure that visitors and guests have the best experience when they attend the chapters all over the valley, right? And so when it comes to the visitor experience, one, you guys as members, if you have someone that is going to be attending your meeting, please make sure that they are registered ahead of time. Registering your visitors will make everything that happens in the back end so much easier. And it also prompts some of the pre-meeting follow-up that can happen for the visitors as well, so that way we can prep them for the meeting. So when you register a visitor, what happens is they get an email saying that they are registered for an upcoming meeting, and they'll get a reminder a couple days prior to the meeting. But then the leadership team and visitor hosts also get emails letting them know that a visitor has registered. This is really important to make sure that we set up the venue for enough chairs and space for everyone in the meeting. And so that way we can also send the pre-follow-up information prior to the meeting. So once someone registers, usually it's either someone from the leadership team or the visitor host team that will send a pre-email to the visitor saying, "Oh, we're so excited to see you." And it'll list out some details of some things to expect in the meeting, like giving a weekly presentation, that they're going to be able to say their tagline, that they are going to have an opportunity to be able to share a little bit at the end of the meeting as well, and to bring business cards. Also, guys, if your venue is hard to find, it's always great to make sure that you are letting the visitors know ahead of time where to find you. I've received multiple calls lately from different visitors that couldn't find a location. So they were near the location, but they weren't able to attend because they couldn't find the location. So if your venue is hard to find, or let's say your venue just changed names, let me know so that way I can update BNI Connect, so that way people can find you. So that pre-follow-up email is important before the meeting even starts. Then, the day of the meeting. This is super important, guys, okay? So we want to make sure that our visitor hosts have everything set up in the beginning of the meeting. with the sign-in sheets and sticky name tags. If your chapter needs more BNI sticky name tags, all you have to do is put in an order, a supply order for more, and we'll send you more. There are no charge to the chapter for sticky name tags. You just have to let us know when you need more. So usually the leadership team will submit the order. All supplies and new member name tags go directly to the president of your chapter. So one of the leadership team members or visitor hosts can submit that order and it'll go directly to the president of your chapter. Where to find that supply order form? If you go to bniarizona.com, click on the resources tab and you'll notice a supply order form. That's where you can order the sticky name tags, so that way we can send you more, so that way you're prepared for the visitors that come into your meeting. Because it's important that they have a name tag, so that way everyone will know who they are, and so that way we can make introductions to them as well. So getting them all signed in the beginning of the meeting is important. If you need more sign-in sheets, the leadership team Google Drive folder does have a copy of the visitor sign-in sheet. So all of that information is right on there. Now, if you're a chapter that, let's say you have the sign-in sheets, but you're like, man, I can't read their writing. It's so hard to read their writing. Some chapters will take the visitor's business card and staple it to the sign-in sheet, so that way all of the information is super legible, especially to be able to mark the attendance on the back end. In addition to that, guys, one of the great things about making sure people are registered is there is an easy report that our visitor host can print to have at the sign-in table, which is the visitor registration report. If you log into BNI Connect, click on Reports and Chapter, there's a visitor registration report, which will give you a full list of the visitors that have registered for a particular meeting. When you print that, you can have that at the sign-in table and just highlight people's names that have attended the meeting. So that way you don't have to have them spend a lot of time filling out the sign-in sheet. Because they've already registered, we have all their information in the system. If we just highlight their name, that will actually help the visitor host while they're marking attendance, because since their name's already in the system, they just click the buttons and just add everyone to the list. So once everyone's been signed in for the meeting, and of course making sure the visitor hosts are super smiley and positive, because that first impression is key, guys, you want to introduce them to the visitor host open networkers. Now, who are the visitor host open networkers, right? Everybody's a visitor host open networker. Okay, it was a trick question. But we do have certain members that are specifically designated as visitor host open networkers, but as a BNI member, we all need to play a part in that role. We need to make sure that the visitors are having the best experience, making sure to introduce them around to potential power partners, and making sure that no one's sitting alone during open networking. We have so many different types of personalities that are in BNI and that visit BNI, and so you never know if someone may be uncomfortable with going up and talking to different people. So if you see someone that you're not familiar with, whether it's a visitor, if it's a BNI member from another chapter, same guys, you want to make sure to introduce them around too. If you notice that they have a BNI name tag on but you don't recognize who they are, introduce yourself. And then introduce them around, because obviously they are visiting your chapter. You want to make everyone feel welcome. I get the comments all the time when members have visited other chapters and no one goes up to them and introduces them around. And so that's where the rumors start that a chapter is cliquey. If you don't start mixing, mingling, and talking to people. And this is another reason why open networking, guys, do not sit and open networking. Do not sit during that first 15 minutes. You need to be up, stand up, mix and mingle. If you have food at your meeting, get your food, put it at your place, and then go network with people. That is one of the biggest pieces of the BNI agenda, is the open networking. You want to make sure to maximize on that. Do not sit down and open network. Mix and mingle. Talk to visitors, talk to different members that are across the room so that way you can follow up with referrals from the previous week, and also connect with one-to-ones. It's very awkward for a visitor or guest to walk into a room with everyone sitting and not knowing where to go or who to talk to. So when everyone's standing up and mingling, it makes the energy way higher, way higher. And you create a better experience for the visitors. It's all about the visitor experience, guys. So keep that in mind. Like, how was your experience when you visited a chapter for the first time? Or how was your experience when you visited a different chapter for the first time? How did it go? What could have been better for your experience? And take that to your own chapter to make sure that we elevate the experience for our visitors. So with that open networking, guys, make sure everyone's mingling. If you see someone sitting by themselves, sometimes I even test chapters. I'll stand off to the side to see if someone approaches me. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am truly an introvert. I could just sit by myself off to the side. So you want to make sure that you're mingling. I'm with BNI, but you could still come talk to me and introduce me around to different people. So it goes with anyone that's visiting your chapter. And if you have newer members in the chapter, make sure that they understand what that open networking is all about. Want to make sure we're creating the best experience when someone comes into a chapter. I've received lots of messages from visitors of how much they absolutely loved their experience because they felt welcomed. That's the biggest thing, guys. You want to make sure a visitor feels welcomed. So throughout that open networking, then the rest of the meeting starts. Then you have the visitor orientation. This is another critical piece to the visitor experience, guys. Making sure that we give them all the tools and information to be able to apply for the chapter. This is extremely important. There are many chapters that aren't doing an orientation, and you guys are shooting yourselves in the foot because it's a missed opportunity to be able to see if they have any questions and be able to give them the tools and give them the information of how BNI can really help them grow their business. There's two really awesome tools that I encourage chapters to use during the orientation. One is the visitor information sheet that has all the information about the pricing of BNI, the application process. It talks about member success program training, all of those things. It gives them that information and a QR code that will link them right to your specific online application, as well as the BNI's 10 commitments to help you grow your business. After one or two visits of a visitor, they really don't know all of the things that BNI really has to offer to help them grow their business. So that's a really critical tool, in my opinion, that is a great takeaway for visitors to really start to understand how BNI can really help them grow their business. So orientation, you want to have that right after referrals and testimonials. So that way it goes into the members only portion of the meeting. That way the orientation and the rest of the meeting ends at the same time. So that way the visitors can come back into the room and network with members before everyone leaves. That's another key piece. I've had lots of comments from visitors that they had their orientation after the meeting ended. They came back into the room and was like, oh man, so-and-so left. I really wanted to connect with them before they left. This is why we want to make sure that that orientation is at a certain time. And now the fortune, guys, is in the follow-up. Everybody can be a part of the follow-up. Now the visitor hosts do have an important follow-up piece with marking the attendance in BNI Connect, and there's a lot of great quick videos from Jeremy Walsh and BNI Business Builder. So if you're a visitor host and you're thinking, oh man, we need to learn more information on how to mark that attendance in BNI Connect, let me know and I can send you the quick video out of BNI Business Builder that'll walk you through the process of making sure that we mark it correctly. So that way the right members get credit for inviting their visitors to the chapter meetings. So we want to mark the attendance, but then we also want the additional follow-up. So the president should be calling the visitors, thanking them for coming. The visitor host follow-up specialist should also be contacting the visitors. And then if a visitor is visiting your chapter and you're like, ooh, this person would be an amazing power partner for me and my business, follow up with them, guys. Don't say, oh, that person's going to follow up with them. Take the lead and follow up with them. Set up a one-to-one with them. Get to learn about them and their business to see if they'd be a great fit, because as you have visitors come to the chapter and you get to know them, if they submit an application, send any feedback that you have to your vice president, good, bad, or other. Like if a visitor visits your chapter and you're like, oh, I know this company and it's not the best company, tell your vice president. Don't start blasting it to the entire chapter. Just tell your vice president, so that way, if and when they submit an application, the committee knows the information. So again, if you have feedback on an applicant, send it directly to your vice president. We don't need to create drama in a chapter. Send it on over to the vice president, because that's the most important person that needs to know the feedback, good, bad, or other, right? So again, visitor experience, the whole shebang from prior to the meeting to then after in the follow-up. Fortune is in the follow-up, guys. I've had lots of comments from visitors where they visited a meeting and then didn't hear anything from anybody from the chapter, and so they didn't feel welcomed. So then they went to the next chapter, and if they felt more welcome, they submitted an application there. So if you're wondering, if you're having a lot of visitors attend your meetings, but you're not getting conversion of people submitting applications, I would look at all of the pieces in the visitor experience and see what could improve. And if everything is top notch and all of the pieces are in place and you're like, Kristen, we're doing everything that you just explained and still nothing, let me know. There's got to be something. Or even if we get feedback from the visitors on how their experience was, that it also helps too. But if you have any questions about the visitor experience, please feel free to reach out to me. If you need any of the tools that I mentioned for your visitor orientation, reach out to me as well. You can email me, Kristen@BNIArizona.com. Email is the best way to get a hold of me because I go through my emails daily. So if you need anything, let me know, guys. But remember to record one chapter education unit for watching this today, and let's go out and have some amazing visitor experiences. Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you next week.